What's going on, Dolphins? It's your boy Dillon, and training camp has officially ended. We have 3 preseason games left, with obviously this one coming up in 2 days on Friday being the most relevant and the closest one. But I am bringing you this today because there are a bunch of articles that have come out, so I just want to go over them. I want to talk to you guys about them, let you guys know what's out there, what people are talking about. So first and foremost, we'll go to this Bleacher Report article, and it is the NFL Power Rankings. So I'll go through them all, and then I'll tell you what they say about us. So 32, they have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nice, we just played them. 31, Miami Dolphins. Highest rank, they had us as 26, lowest is 32. Last week we were tied for 29th. Oh look, so we fell. If our panel is correct, then it's shaping up to be a long year for Florida football teams, or at least most of them. Nah. Your panel is incorrect, just letting you know that. The return of Ryan Tannehill to game action last week was no doubt a welcome sight for the Dolphins and their fans. And to be fair, if Tannehill can stay healthy, the Dolphins should improve on last year's ranking of 25th in total offense. But Tannehill's health is just one of many questions facing this team. Will DeVante Parker finally emerge? Will a healthy Raekwon McMillan and Robert Quinn boost this defense? And perhaps most importantly, will the new faces be enough to make Miami significantly better than last year's 6-10 team? Or are the Dolphins headed for a 3rd season in 4 years with 6 or fewer wins? Lovely. So, tied for 28th, they have the New York Jets. And you guys already know how I feel about the team, so we're going to sweep our entire division, go at least 12-4, make it to the AFC Championship game. Some are saying we might even make it to the Super Bowl. Well, some being, some fans. Anyway, tied for, this is interesting though, tied for 28th is New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Interesting. As well as the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know why they tie these teams. I don't know why they just put them in a fucking straight line, but whatever. A straight ranking. 27 is the Colts. 26 is the Browns. 25 is the Bengals. 4 is the Redskins. 23 is the Raiders. 22 Seattle. 21 New York Giants. Tied for 19 is Chicago Bears. 18 is Baltimore. 17 is San Francisco. 16 is Lions. 15 Cowboys. Tied for 13 Texans and Panthers. 12 Chiefs. 11 Titans. 10 Chargers. 9 Packers. 8 Jaguars. 7 Falcons. 6 Steelers. 5 Patriots. That's interesting. 4 Saints. 3 Vikings. 2 Rams. And 1 Eagles. So that's, actually kind of somewhat interesting. Of course, they have us stuck all the way down there at the bottom, but whatever. And then there's this other Bleacher Report article, so about the Super Bowl odds and how they've shifted. Well, they have us, I don't think it was Bleacher Report that actually made those rankings and listings, but they have the Dolphins in a 4-way tie for least likely to make it to the Super Bowl at plus 15,000. I love it. I love all the hate. I love all the doubt, because we are going to shut everybody up this year. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Yeah. And we're in that tie with the Cardinals, the Bills, the Jets. Fabulous. Okay, next, there's a Miami Herald report. Tannehill at a different level this year. Let's see. Spaceballs and other reasons why the Dolphins offense had its best camp under Gase. There's light speed, there's ridiculous speed, and then there's ludicrous speed. The Dolphins want to go as fast this fall. They dent Rick Moranis' helmet. The reference, for those of you born in the past 30 years, is from Spaceballs, a Mel Brooks sci-fi spoof in which the villains can reach a dangerous, disorienting, ludicrous speed. And that's what the Dolphins want from their offense this fall. Also to note, Teslas have a button. Some Teslas have a button that's the ludicrous button so they can go super fast. Just another note. I think we have a few different tempos we can play at, Dolphins quarterback Ryan Tannehill said. We can go in the huddle, we can play on the ball at a normal speed, or we can go at what we call ludicrous speed, where we really press the tempo. I think that's really going to help us more than it has in the past. Change those tempos up. Credit Tannehill for even knowing the reference. He was born a year after Spaceballs was released, but the terminology comes from Adam Gase's time in Denver when he worked with perhaps the game's most famous Gen Xer, Peyton Manning. The name stuck. The Dolphins hope the results do too. I'm 29 years old. I've seen Spaceballs. Because as Miami wrapped up training camp under yet another scorching South Florida sun Tuesday, the sense has been and remains this: the Dolphins will only go as far as the offense generally, and Tannehill specifically, takes it. The good news, the coaching staff believes that side of the ball is better at this point of the preseason than at any point in Gase's 3 years with the team. There's just a better feel. With Ryan, this is his third year in the offense, Gase said. He's at mentally a different level. He's able to really help so many guys out. I think just a couple of the moving pieces we've had, those guys have done a good job picking up. This offense is not too far off from what Danny has already done. I think Albert Wilson has done a really good job of grinding out the plays. Very prideful of making sure he's not making mistakes on the field. It's been a very good transition for us. Tannehill has been particularly effective on what Gase calls the ball on the ball drills, which are more like a game than some of the situational reps the team practices. Tannehill is able to play free and loose without overloading himself with too much information, and that allows him to play fast, sometimes ludicrously so. The main thing is to make sure he's not taking on unnecessary hits, Gase said. There are times where I understand that he's going to stand in there going to deliver the ball, and there's times where I understand there's no hope of delivering the ball. That's the point emphasis the last 2 years since he got injured. Tannehill insists he trusts his twice injured, once surgically repaired left knee after testing it out all offseason, saying he doesn't even think about it anymore. But he has no desire whatsoever to go through that grueling rehab process again. That means his protection has to be good, which it has for the most part. There was a bad bust by rookie running back Kalen Ballage Sunday that would have led to violent sack by Charles Harris in a game. Tannehill was so incensed, he kicked Ballage off the field and continued to chew him out on the sidelines a short time after. The exchange was notable because it was so rare, but Tannehill has really come out of his shell under Gase, and this year particularly. You don't want to be an iron fist all the time, Tannehill said. At least I don't. I like to pick my spots like you said and have a reason for everything that I do. I believe in Kalen. I know the talent that he has. He has every talent that we need him to, every tool that we need him to have. He's big, he's strong, he's fast. He catches the ball well, he can pass protect. I told Kalen after the fact, I just want him to have more urgency. We want him to help us. I know he can help us, but we have to know what we're doing when we're on the field, especially in pass protection, and I think he's picked it up. Yeah, so, we all know about that little exchange. I think it's great. Tannehill's really, like they said in the article, coming out of his shell, and, he's becoming that leader that, we need from him, frankly. So here's a Bleacher Report article, and it's win-loss predictions for every team. The Miami Dolphins could be in for a long season, and not because the team is devoid of talent. Guys like Cameron Wake, Robert Quinn, and Kenyon Drake will make Miami competitive, but this is clearly a franchise that lacks an identity and a direction. Identity, maybe at this point. Direction, wrong. Completely false, and that shows they have no real understanding of what this team is doing, and this next paragraph proves it even more. Miami parted with Ndamukong Suh this offseason. Still, just talking about that. Get over it already. Jesus Christ, put it to bed. Shut the fuck up about it. And over the last year, it has traded its two best offensive players, Jay Ajayi and Jarvis Landry. I think Kenyon Drake is far better than Jay Ajayi. He can do way more. He's way more versatile. He's not as predictable when he's on the field. Get out of here. It's silly. Jarvis Landry, frankly, at this point, I'm glad he's gone, and we're going to do so much better without him. Plus, head coach Adam Gase is firmly on the hot seat. No, the fuck he's not. Oh my God. OddsShark gives Gase 5-2 odds to be the first coach fired this year. I don't care about, wow. Dude, 15-2 odds. I'm sorry. That's fucking crazy. The Dolphins need to determine if Gase and quarterback Ryan Tannehill need to be part of the future. Tannehill isn't the worst starter in the league, but he holds a career passer rating of just 86.5 and is returning from a year lost to a torn ACL. If Tannehill is merely average once again, the Dolphins are going to have a tough time even sniffing the playoffs. They could also be headed for some big changes at the end of the year, and they say we're going 5-11. Dude, I'll put it like this. You saw Jacksonville and the things they've done. We have a team, an overall team. The Eagles last year, there's a bunch of teams. Our quarterback is better than Blake Bortles. Tannehill's better than Blake Bortles. He's better than, who was it? Who were the, damn, I can't, what, Nick Foles and there was like one or two other backups. I don't remember. But anyway, he's better than some of those quarterbacks, and we have a solid team around him. Not just a solid team, but they're going to be fantastic. All right, anyway, here's a Dolphins Wire article. Gase is impressed with Dolphins rookie class thus far. The Dolphins rookie class during the first 2 seasons under head coach Adam Gase has been a bit of a mixed bag. However, the 2018 draft class seems to have the potential of being Gase's best. Minkah Fitzpatrick, Mike Gesicki, and Jerome Baker all received first-team reps during this week's training camp practice. During his press conference on Tuesday, Gase said he has been impressed with the draft class thus far. Very impressed. Very football-oriented, Gase said. There's nothing else. These guys grind, they spend extra time, they study, they know what to do. They're playing fast. You see the impact. It's noticeable that these guys are going to help us this year. This isn't going to be, hey, let's see what happens over the next 3 years. We're seeing 4, 5, 6 guys, actually. We know these guys are going to help us. Fitzpatrick played well during the Dolphins preseason opener against the Buccaneers as he recorded 3 tackles and a pass breakup. After his performance, the Dolphins put him in the starting slot cornerback, put him in as the starting slot cornerback as Bobby McCain has been playing the boundary cornerback position opposite Xavier Howard. Gesicki was targeted twice against the Buccaneers as he almost came down with a great catch in the end zone. He has been with the starting unit since A.J. Derby went down with a foot injury. Baker's performance during the preseason opener might have been the most surprising of them all as he finished with a game-high 5 tackles as he demonstrated a lot of speed and athleticism. It will be interesting to see how the 3 rookies perform against the Panthers on Friday night. I'm telling you, bruh, people are sleeping on us hard, and that's going to be a major, upset for them, for a lot of people. All right, here's another Dolphins Wire article. McMillan said speed was biggest adjustment in opener. After not playing a defensive down last season, Raekwon McMillan played at the linebacker for the first time in an actual game against the Buccaneers last week. When talking to the media on Thursday, McMillan said the speed of the game was the hardest adjustment. I learned that stuff happens fast in the NFL, McMillan said. It's a fast game, a high-speed game. It's just about a next play mentality. When things aren't rolling in our direction, you just have to find a way to flip the switch and turn it back around. During the 2017 preseason opener against the Falcons, McMillan tore his ACL while on special teams coverage, forcing him to miss the entire season. In training camp, the Dolphins reinserted McMillan back at his starting middle linebacker position, but recently he has been playing next to his former college teammate Jerome Baker. McMillan and Baker played on the same defensive unit for 2 years at Ohio State, 15-16. Despite the success the two had in Columbus, McMillan said he is just focusing on trying to help the Dolphins return to the playoffs after a 1-year absence. It's a new team, a new goal, a new opportunity, McMillan said. We're not dwelling on the past. We had a lot of success together at Ohio State, but we're here with the Dolphins now, so it's about winning Super Bowls and making the playoffs. Without a doubt, my kid, and they will. Watch, bro. I'm telling you, we are going to surprise so many people. All right, Dolphins Wire article. Tannehill explains why he kicked Kalen Ballage out. During Sunday's practice, Dolphins quarterback Ryan Tannehill kicked running back Kalen Ballage out of his huddle and criticized the rookie after he missed a block on a would-be sack. After Monday's practice, Tannehill told reporters why he kicked Ballage out of the huddle. You don't want to be an iron fist all the time, at least I don't, Tannehill said. I like to pick my spots like you said and have a reason for everything that I do. I believe in Kalen. I know the talent he has. He has every tool that we need him to have. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, fast, he catches the ball well, he can pass protect. I told Kalen after the fact, I just want him to have more urgency. We want him to help us. I know he can help us, but we have to know what we're doing when we're on the field, especially in pass protection. I think he's picked it up. I think he's doing a good job of pressing forward, and he's going to help us this year. Balaj missed a block on defensive end Charles Harris on a passing play as he opted to run a route instead of looking to see if Harris was rushing Tannehill. If that had happened in a game, Tannehill, who had missed the last 20 months due to a couple of ACL injuries, would have been blown up in the backfield. Tannehill, who's usually even-keeled, surprised many with his fiery tirade. Earlier in the week, both Dolphins head coach Adam Gase and offensive coordinator Dow Loggins said Tannehill did the right thing by kicking Balaj out of the huddle. Ownership, we keep telling these guys Coach Gase can only tell them so many times. Loggins said, eventually it's their responsibility to control this stuff. We can only say it so many times. It means more if all of a sudden you bust a protection and the quarterback throws you out. There's no one you want to disappoint less than your teammates, and when you walk in the huddle and walk in the locker room, those guys have to trust you. So the level of accountability, that's where Ryan took a step. And that's one of the big things about, I'm telling you people, Gase has got this culture the way he wants it. He's got the players that he wants. I'm telling you, bruh, this is going to be the year. All right. Here's another Bleacher Report article. Dolphins will not be trading DeVante Parker because I guess there have been rumors that we're going to trade him. So we'll see. I mean, they said we wouldn't trade Landry and eventually did, but, you know, we'll see. Miami Dolphins wide receiver DeVante Parker reportedly isn't on the trade block. According to Armando Salguero of the Miami Herald, a league source familiar with the Dolphins' plans told the Miami Herald this week that Parker will not be traded. Parker is recovering from a broken finger in his right hand that could keep him out for the remainder of the preseason. We shall see, like I said. I mean, you know, I want him to do well so bad. So bad. I wore his jersey. I know it's hard to see. Yeah, my camera only does so well. It's hard for me to get a good view of me backed up so you can see me in my entirety, or at least my whole torso, whatever. But I have his jersey on. I want him to do well so bad. But, you know, it's getting less and less likely. From the Miami Herald and Armando Salguero, are the Miami Dolphins trying to trade DeVante Parker? Here's the answer. Trade DeVante Parker? Yes, absolutely. Do it as soon as possible. If you picked him early in your fantasy football draft. Because he has a broken finger in his right hand, might not play the remainder of the preseason, and might have to go into the regular season with limited practice time. But if you're thinking the Miami Dolphins will trade their 2015 first-round draft pick, think again. A league source familiar with the Dolphins' plans told the Miami Herald this week that Parker will not be traded. And while there was zero equivocation in the statement, you must know NFL personnel decisions are fluid. The Dolphins once also said Jarvis Landry would never be traded, and, well, he got traded. There is, frankly, no telling whether another team might come calling for Parker and offer something of value, like a cornerback that tempts the Dolphins. There is no telling what might happen months from now at the trade deadline. All I can report is today, now, there are currently no plans for the Dolphins to move on from Parker despite rumors and speculation and, frankly, some fans imploring to move on social media. It's not in the offing, as far as the team is concerned. This, by the way, came before it was known Parker has a broken finger and won't be able to play Friday's preseason game at Carolina, and probably won't be able to do a lot in practice other than try to stay in top condition next week. The source did not offer a reason why the Dolphins are sticking with Parker, but it is known the Dolphins think Parker has had a solid training camp. Me, I don't think that. The Dolphins are happy Parker has advanced in his knowledge of the offense to where he knows both outside receiver spots, which means the team can move him around more easily and get him open by scheme more easily. The Dolphins also recognize they really don't have another receiver that might do what Parker can do, present a big target with an enormous catch radius for quarterback Ryan Tannehill. So those are reasons the Dolphins might have considered in deciding Parker as a keeper. So you're asking, why are there persistent swirling rumors about the receiver going elsewhere? Well, the Dolphins have other options, and we're going to see those options now that Parker is injured. The Parker injury, combined with an ankle injury to Kenny Stills, means Albert Wilson and Jakeem Grant are going to get an opportunity to play with the starting offense Friday night against Carolina. Grant is eager to prove he belongs with at the starters. Wilson, expected to be something of a package receiver despite signing a big contract in the offseason, now is a chance to show what he can do on the extended duty outside with the starters. What if both those guys ball? Well, then the speculation that Parker is expendable will grow louder. But the problem with that is Parker won't be performing this preseason. So anyone even remotely interested in him would have to rely on what they saw his first 3 NFL seasons and what they believed he offered coming out of Louisville. And that body of work and tape would suggest a team giving up maybe a 4th or 5th round pick for Parker max. That wouldn't seem to be fair compensation for the Dolphins, especially since Parker is not a troublemaker of any sort, is well liked by coaches and teammates, and still offers great if unmet potential at a relatively low salary. So something significant would have to change for the Dolphins to change their thinking about Parker. For now, however, he is going to remain a Miami Dolphin. Like I said, guys, I really want him to succeed and do better. I don't know. We'll see, man. I have high hopes, and I'm still holding out hope that he will do something. All right, here's an article from the NFL Spin Zone. NFL preseason 2018 surprise player from each team looking to stay hot in week 2. All right, so for Miami Dolphins, they have Francis Owusu. Isn't it crazy how around this time last year there wasn't a ton of excitement surrounding the Miami Dolphins hoping to earn a trip to the playoffs for a second year in a row? Without question, the Dolphins were one of the biggest surprise contenders for the 2016 season, but unfortunately the team took a major step back last year with Jay Cutler on board filling in for the injured Ryan Tannehill. This time around, Tannehill is finally healthy again and appears to be a quarterback on a mission to prove to the organization that he is in fact the long-term answer under center, which isn't going to be the easiest task in the world. Whether he wants to admit it or not, Tannehill's history of injuries over the last couple of years are a major concern for Miami. No, they're not. People need to stop saying that Tannehill is like injury prone or whatever because he had an unlucky hit. It was super unlucky the way Calais Campbell, unless he meant to do it, but I don't think he did. So it was super unlucky the way Calais Campbell's head hit him right on the knee. Yes, I admit they should have had the surgery before, but he is fully healthy, fully repaired. He is fine. God, stop. I'm so annoyed with people saying that Tannehill is injury prone or that his one injury in his entire career is a major concern. Tom Brady, for the love of God, tore his ACL, came back, and he's been Tom Brady. Sure, Tannehill's not Tom Brady, but he can come back and be as good as he was in 2016 and better. I'm sorry, it's just annoying. And if he doesn't come through in 2018, chances are the team will be looking for new options next offseason. In other words, Tannehill is going to need all of the help he can get this upcoming season to give him a better chance of sticking around for the long run. Francis Owusu may not seem like the most likely candidate to help Tannehill, but after leading the team against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 4 catches for 82 yards, it doesn't seem so crazy after all. Man, they just really don't even know that much about us. I think Francis Owusu actually will be someone who sticks around and everything that could, especially if Parker doesn't end up panning out, he could move up the depth chart, and he did some really good things for us. But geez, man, that's fucking crazy. People just really don't have a clue really of what's actually going on within, this organization. And it's just like they just spout a bunch of nonsensical shit with no real information, to back it. And when they do give information, usually it's very pointed and they only focus around very specific details without bringing the full picture and the full context in for you. It's completely absurd. It's like, I don't know. Lord have mercy. All right, here's a couple Dolphins.com articles real quick. Can Jimmy's 3 takeaways on camp's final day? So from yesterday, training camp wraps up. Today's practice officially marked the end of training camp, and the team definitely had a few points of emphasis that they zeroed in on over the last week and a half. Offensively, ball security and pre-snap penalties were at the top of head coach Adam Gase's list. Those are two areas that this unit can control, and special attention was made to see overall improvement. The defense placed their focus on playing faster and going back to the basics of tackling, especially wrapping up and attacking the football. They need to because more turnovers in 2018 is a priority for this group. Number 2, learning body language. Quarterback Ryan Tannehill has spent the majority of training camp trying to learn the body language of his new wide receivers and tight ends. That chemistry just doesn't happen because players have natural ability. It's a process that needs repetition during and after practice. Players like Danny Amendola and Albert Wilson have spent hours trying to perfect their craft so that it matches up to when Ryan wants to deliver the football. Tight ends Mike Gesicki and Durham Smythe have also spent extra time learning how Ryan expects them to come out of routes so that it's more seamless during the regular season. Training camp might be over, but the additional work that's put in after practice hopefully will pay off when it counts the most. It will, dude. See, and that's the thing. Tannehill and these guys are working relentlessly all the time, putting in extra time. People don't give nearly enough credit. I love it though, man. I really do. It upsets me and it frustrates me sometimes and I get annoyed, but I love it because we are going to shut everybody up this year. Number 3, tempo and 2-minute drill. It's the goal of the offense to go as fast as possible using their tempo to slow down opposing defenses. Today the offense couldn't achieve their goals because the guys on the other side of the ball held the advantage. The defense was able to shut down the offense in a simulated 2-minute drill, and they did it with pressure up front and tight coverage in the secondary. Both the first team and second team offenses were given the ball on the 45-yard line with 1:40 left before halftime. In both situations, the defense forced the punting unit onto the field. The defense forced a sack on first down, and after a completion from Tannehill to Gesicki, a 3rd and 5 attempt fell incomplete. The twos were up next, and after 2 completions from Brock Osweiler to Isaiah Ford and A.J. Derby, his 3rd down attempt was broken up at the line of scrimmage. That dude, I'm sorry, with as many times as he's had interceptions in training camp, with as many times recently as he's had balls batted down at the line of scrimmage, I see it. I feel bad for him, but he is not good. Brock Osweiler is not good. Bryce Petty needs to jump him on the depth chart. They need to give him more looks, and especially if he goes out and he plays like he did again. If they all play like they did the past game, jump him. They need to put Bryce Petty above Osweiler and give him just more of a chance, more of an opportunity. All right, here's my final article from Alan Pupar at Dolphins.com. Camp Insider, 10 observations from the last day of camp. The Dolphins practiced in uppers. Longtime Dolphins linebacker Zach Thomas and former running back Terry Kirby both were guests at practice. Nice. Running back Kalen Ballage and tight end Marquise Gray are in the concussion protocol and did not practice Tuesday. The other players sitting out were wide receiver DeVante Parker with a hand, Stills with an ankle, Mike Hull with a knee, William Hayes with a hamstring, Jake Brendel with a calf. Running back Frank Gore was back at practice after being let off the day, or being off on Monday. Rookie defensive tackle Jemias Pittman got to quarterback David Phils for a would-be second team drills. Among the players who fielded punts during special teams were Danny Amendola, Drew Morgan, Kenyon Drake, Albert Wilson, and Jakeem Grant. Wide receiver Rashawn Scott made a nice one-handed catch near the sideline. Buddy Howell and Brandon Radcliffe both had nice runs up the middle in team drills. And Bryce Petty had a nice completion to Francis Owusu near the sideline in a 2-minute drill. Alright guys, so there you have it. That's just all the, I just wanted to, like I said, no practice today. The team's actually heading to Carolina today, if I didn't mention that. So, I just wanted to bring you what's out there, let you know what's going on. So there was no practice or anything. But that's it. So, as always, guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe. I really need, I need everybody to subscribe. I mean, that's the big thing. As we all know, you guys know how YouTube works. I need the subscribers, and I need it because, I'm trying to grow this channel. I want to make it as, big and as best for you guys as I possibly can. I want to improve upon everything that I have. I'd like to, increase you know, my production quality. I'd love to do more things for you guys. I'd like to, you know, definitely answer questions, get to a point where I can do, you know, fan questions, you know, a Q&A as part of this, you know, all sorts of things. So and we'll grow, and we'll, you know, it'll get more creative and more interesting as time goes on, and as we, you know, as the channel does grow, as the show does grow. So please definitely support the show, the channel, with the subscribe button. Please hit it, you know, all that good stuff. I know I repeat it a lot, but I definitely do want to, you know, grow it and make it as best for you guys as I possibly can. Alright, so I'm not going to keep saying that over and over again. You guys get the idea, and I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. It's really fun for me. I'm enjoying it a lot. So with that, I will leave you guys. I'm excited for our next game on Friday. I'll be obviously doing a video beforehand. I'll do a video afterwards with a preview and a recap. So let's get excited, everybody. The season is almost here. I can't wait. And with that, I'll see you guys soon. Fins up.